Hello everyone, welcome to my new channel Education Helpers Academy. The purpose of this channel is to help the students. In this video, we will discuss the macroeconomics, particularly the introduction of macroeconomics. So in this macroeconomics, we have to cover the fundamentals of the topics. First, we have to start with what is the economics, why you have to study economics, what is the distinction between microeconomics and macroeconomics, and after that, why we have to study the macroeconomics different field. So, economic studies as to how the society can allocate its limited resources most efficiently. That means it is a study of how people make choices. So first we have to question why you have to study economics. You have to study economics there are four reasons. One is to learn a way of thinking, to understand the society, and to understand the global affairs, and to be an informed citizen. The field of economics has been divided into distinguished area of study. One is microeconomics, macroeconomics. Microeconomics deals with behavior of the individual entities like individual consumer, markets, farm, households, etc. In other words, macroeconomics is concerned with behavior of the economy as a whole. With booms, recessions of the economy's total output of goods and services, the growth of the output, the rate of inflation, unemployment, the balance of payment, the exchange rate, so on. The macroeconomics deals with the long run economic growth, the short term fluctuations that constitute the business cycle. Topics covered in this macroeconomics are what macroeconomics is about, what macroeconomics to do, why macroeconomics disagree. In the case of what macroeconomics is about, we can cover there are three different topics. One is definition of the macroeconomics and differences between microeconomics and macroeconomics and basic issues in macroeconomics. And another way, what macroeconomists do, we can cover three important topics: macroeconomic forecasting, data collecting and analysis, macroeconomic research. Why macroeconomists disagree? In this case, we have to discuss positive analysis and normative analysis, and also we can discuss classical theory approach and the Keynesian theory approach. So we have to discuss the first with what macroeconomics is about. Already we discussed the macroeconomics is a branch of economics that examine economic behavior of the aggregates, total output, total demand, aggregate income, total saving, total investment, rise, fall in general price level, interest rate, so on. So the scope of macroeconomics you can look at in this picture, right? Macroeconomics is divided into four theories like theory of income and employment, theory of general price level and inflation, theory of growth, and theory of income distribution. And again, the theory of income and employment can divide into three distinct fields: theory of consumption, theory of investment, and theory of trade and business cycle. So these three theories we have to discuss in coming lectures. And first we have to discuss what is the different scope of macroeconomics, different theories, right? So now we can discussing macroeconomics and microeconomics, the distinguish between macro and microeconomics. Macroeconomic, it studies the structure and performance of the economy as a whole. It analyzes the economy as a whole. In microeconomic, it studies the structure and performance of individual economic unit. It analyzes individual components of the economy, right? Macroeconomic deals with the economy as a whole, economic units, and microeconomics studies the individual economic units. Macroeconomics concern itself with choices made by the macro players of the economy, such as the government, the central bank, etc., and impact of those choices on the economy as a whole. Microeconomics focuses on the decision choices made by the individual decision-making units of the society, typically the consumers and firms, and the impact of those choices individual markets. Macroeconomics is top-down approach and microeconomics bottoms-up approach. And macroeconomic studies overall price level, and microeconomic studies individual prices. Macroeconomic studies they analyze aggregate demand and aggregate supply, but in microeconomic studies analysis individual demand and goods. So here you can look at the examples of macroeconomics and microeconomics in the form of division of the economics. In the division of economics, production in terms of macroeconomics, national product, output, total industrial output, gross domestic product, growth of per capita income. In the case of microeconomics, in terms of the division of economic production, you can discuss in micro level production and output in individual industries and businesses. Division of economics in the case of price, in macroeconomic way, aggregate price level, consumer prices, producer price, rate of inflation. In microeconomics, in the price of individual goods and services, price of medical care, price of gas line, goods prices and oil price, individual expenditure, and so on. And income, in the case of income, macroeconomic studies the national income, total wages and salaries, total cooperative profits. In the form of the microeconomics, distribution of income and wealth, wages in the auto industry, minimum wage, executive salaries, so on. In the case of division of economics, in the employment field, in macro level, you can observe the employment, unemployment in the economy, total number of jobs, unemployment rate. In micro level, employment by individual business and industries, jobs in the steel industry, number of employees in a firm. So next we have to cover the macroeconomic issues. The issues that macroeconomists address include the following are: what determines the nation's long-run economic growth, what causes a nation's economic activity to fluctuate, what causes unemployment, what causes prices to rise, how is a nation's economy affected by being part of its international economy, can the government do anything to improve economic performance? These are the fundamental issues, but the key macroeconomic issues in more detail you can discuss here. So what are the basic key issues in macroeconomics? Long-run economic growth, business cycles, unemployment, inflation, the international economy, and the macroeconomic policy. Right? You can discuss each and every one, each and every point of this, the key factors. One is the long-run economic growth. Economic growth is what? Economic growth is the increase in the amount of goods and services produced by an economy over time. That is, the quantitative changes taking place in the economy. The economic growth is measured in terms of real gross national product. This gross national product is part of the concept of national income. We discuss some other lecture, what is the national income, what is the concept of national income, how you can measure the national income. So it is different from the economic development. It is the economic growth including structure and economical social changes in the economy. So factors important in the long run economic growth: the availability of the resources, efficiency of the labor force, efficiency of the capital, and rates of investment saving in the economy. In the case of availability of the resources, we can discussing explanation of the natural resources, increasing workforce, capital stock contribute to greater output. In the case of efficiency of labor force, the most factor in the economic growth: education, training, experience, increasing average labor productivity. In the case of efficiency of capital, improvement in knowledge, technological change, increasing productivity of land, machines, and buildings. So these are the most important factors to can important long run economic growth. So another important factor is business cycle. As said earlier, the increase in the availability of the resources, the improvements in efficiency help a country to register an upward trend in the long run economic growth. But it has been observed that at any given point of time, the rate of economic growth is sometimes greater than, smaller than, and sometimes it is equal to general trend. That you can, in this figure, depict that you can observe the trends of the steady growth rate, growth lines you can observe. In the initial expansion, sometimes it is recession, after that it is depression, recovery, and expansion. So different stages has to you can observe 1930s to till date. You can observe the different cycles of the economic growth trends. Next, you can observe that short-term fluctuations called business cycles exist not only the economic growth but also for other macroeconomic variables such as inflation, unemployment. However, the business cycle is defined as the more and less regular pattern of expansion and contraction in economic activity around the path of trend growth. It is important to that business cycle do not include fluctuations that last only for a few months, such as the spurts in economic activity that occurs around festivals. In the past few years, we often come across the term recession in social media. What is the recession? The recession simply refers to the downward pace of the business cycle during which nation's output may be falling and growth very slowly. The another important factor is long run economic growth. Major factor of macroeconomic issues, unemployment. The unemployment is simply you can say though the person has to willing and able to work but they couldn't get the job. That is you can call it unemployment. That you can also call it joblessness. Joblessness occurs when people are without work activity seeing work. The prevalence of unemployment in the economy is measured by the unemployment rate, which is calculated as a percentage by dividing the number of employed individuals by individuals currently in the labor force. You can measure the unemployment rate on the basis of the formula number of unemployed persons upon by labor force includes employed and unemployed person. The fourth key economic indicator is the inflation. When the price of most goods and services are rising over time, the economy is said to be experiencing inflation. The percentage increase in the aggregate level of the prices over a year is called inflation rate. If the inflation rate is consumer price is 10%, then on an average the price of items the consumers buy rises by 10% per year. A very high inflation rate more than 50% in a month is a major issue. It greatly reduces the purchasing power of the consumers. When inflation rises are extremely high, the economy tends to function purely. Now in this pandemic COVID-19 situation, you can observe that the inflation rate is tremendously high in the first week of the lockdown, right? The percentage is more than 50%. That's why the economy is right. All the consumers are purchasing power tremendously decline. Inflation rate is tremendously increased. It shows that the economy tends to the function poorly. In context, deflation in other way. Deflation is the fall in the average level of the prices. In contrast, a deflation too is nothing to be excited about as falling prices reduce the incentive of producers to sell goods. Next, we can discussing the other macroeconomic issues, the international economy. Today, every major economy is an open economy. Economies are two economies. One is the open economy, another one is the closed economy, right? So, which means that it has extensive trade, financial relationship with other national economies. This is the countries to closed economy. When we have to interact with the rest of the countries, trading and other financial relationship with the other rest of the countries, that is you can call it the open economy. But within the country, you can trading and financial relationship with the within the country that you can call it closed economy. That is fundamental topics we have to discuss. So, a macroeconomist studying the international economy would be interested in knowing how economic links among the nations, such as international trade, borrowings, affect the performance of individual economies and world economy as a whole. The last most important macroeconomic issues are an extremely important factor affecting economic performance is the set of macroeconomic policies pursued by the government. This is the most important policy right, given by the government. Example, in this pandemic situation, the government has to take in the policies to can control the COVID crisis. Right? How? These are the policies you have to express. What are the policies? The macroeconomic policies are affect the performance of the economy. There are two types of policies. One is fiscal policy, another one is monetary policy. Stimulations. The government has to giving the stimulus, that is the first, second, third stages is right. That is you can call as fiscal policy and monetary policy. These are the policies to can give concern the government spending and taxes. Right, and it's fiscal policy. The policy is related to concern government spending and revenue taxes relations, determined at national level, state level, and the local government level. And monetary policy, the policy control the supply of money to determine the rate of growth of money supply in an economy under the control of central bank, that is the RBI. So now we can discussing what macroeconomists to do. After knowing these policies, other issues, macroeconomic issues, then what will have to do as an economist? So as a macroeconomist, teach economists at the college and school level, engage in macroeconomic forecasting, work as analyst in government and private organizations, enter the research area in economics, collect data related to macroeconomic variables. Instead of that, what we have to do, we have to forecasting and we have to analyze the data and give the policies to suggest the policies to the government. So what is the macroeconomic forecasting? An economist trying to forecast the performance of the economy will be concerned with the questions such as how will a severe drought in agriculture regions affect food quantities and prices? Will productivity rise rapidly in the future, and it did during the tech boom of the early 2000s? How will the crisis in the Middle East affect the fuel price? And you can question that how will you can sustain in the pandemic COVID-19 crisis with low level of the productivity of the agriculture sector and the crisis of fuel price. So these are the questions has to give in the forecasting how the economy is sustained. Next, we are going to discuss the macroeconomic analysis. After doing the forecast, the macroeconomist monitor the economy and think about the implications of the current economic events. In private sector organizations like banks, large corporations, a job of an analyst to try to determine how general economic trends will affect their employers' financial investment and their opportunities of expansion, the demand for their products and so on. In public sector agencies such as the government, World Bank and International Monetary Fund, the main function of analyst is to assist in policy making. The ultimate decisions regarding economic policy are taken by the politicians who may not care to advise the macroeconomist in the face of numerous political considerations. After that analysis, the macroeconomic research. The role of macroeconomists engaged in research is to make general statement about how the economy works. Research can take a variety of forms, from abstract mathematical analysis to psychological experimentation to simulation experiment representing the randomness of day-to-day economic activity. Like many other fields, macroeconomic research proceeds primarily through the formulating and testing the theories. An economic theory is set to idea about the economic organization logical framework. So in this pandemic situation, we have to observe that macroeconomic formulation, how to can sustain the economy with low income, more expenditure, low job unemployment rate. These are the so many issues we have to observe in the, you can analyze, formulating the theories, how to can sustain in life for a while, for a year. Most economic theories are developed in terms of the economic model, which has simplified description of the same aspects of the economy. After that, you can discussing, after the research you can conducting, you can analyze the data development. Several macroeconomists are involved in the process of collecting data on macroeconomic variables such as the price level and measures of the output and unemployment, so on. This economic data is used to assess the current state of the economy, make forecast, analyze the policy alternatives, and test macroeconomic theories. So, continuation of this, economists have to do so many activities to can how to can sustain the economy. Then after that, why economists disagree? Why macroeconomists has to disagree? We can provide insight into macroeconomists disagree by drawing by important distinction between positive and normative analysis of the economic policy. Disagreements between macroeconomists may arise due to differences in normative conclusions and because of differences in the positive analysis of a policy proposal. So now you can distinguish between positive and normative economic discussion given. Positive economics is express what is, and normative economics is express what should be. Positive economics it is based on the cause and effect of facts. Normative economics is based on the ethics. Positive economics deals with the actual and realistic situation. Normative economics deals with the idealistic situation. Positive economics, it can be verified with actual data, but the normative economics, it cannot be verified with actual data. In positive economics, value judgments are not given in natural between ends, but in the case of normative economics, the value judgments are given. The positive economic deals with how an economic problem solved, but normative economic deals with how an economic problem should be solved. There have always been many schools of thought in macroeconomics since 1776, but the most important enduring disagreements and positive issues involve the two schools of thought called classical approach and the Keynesian approach. The classical approach, well-known theory, the classical theory can be traced back to early 1776 when a Scottish economist Adam Smith published in his book An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. The main idea is that free markets are guided by the invisible hand which operates through the price mechanism. This is the basic idea of the classical theories. And proponents of the classical approach believe that the invisible hand works well to ensure the economic welfare of the whole society, so that there is only a limited scope of the government intervention. In the initial stage, free market is a major role to play to invisible hand operate through the entire economy. There is no government intervention in the case of classical theory. So in the Keynesian approach, the origin of the Keynesian approach is relatively recent during the depression of 1930s. Introduced by J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. In his book, General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, he has written in book on 1936. The main idea of Keynesian theory is unprecedented high rates of unemployment of 1930s could not be explained by the classical theory. That is the basic problem actually in the case of classical approach. After that, the theory appeared to be inconsistent with the data collected from the real world and the invisible and seemed incompletely ineffective. So these are the theories, fundamental important topics we have to cover. In the coming lecture, we would like to discuss the fundamental topics of the national income, different concepts of national income, methods of national income, and after that, the classical theory of income determination and Keynesian theory of income determination, ISLM model, and monetary policy and fiscal policy, and so on. We have to cover maximum topics of the macroeconomics in this lecture. I am also suggesting some readings, the sources in this macroeconomics concepts. So please look into that sources. And thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. And if you like video, and please like and subscribe and share to your friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.